Hello again and welcome. So before we get started today, I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I've been working on. So in this journal, I did work on a couple of pages. So I've got this cute like egg area and like a garden now. So I did add a little bit to that. And then towards the middle of it, I also made this really cool page that I really like. And some of it, I actually used some of the ephemera that was from some of the old cards and stuff. Like this is actually from a card that Dee Dee Willingham gave me, which is really cool. This is from like an old greeting card. This is from like an old bird book that I have. This is from a bug book I have. Like I've definitely been trying to be creative and use multiple mediums. And then that old ephemera book that I deconstructed, I've also done a few things from that. So I made this really cool chicken. So I really like how old-fashioned it looks, and even underneath the chicken is some of that stuff too. But I really liked this chicken. I ended up painting the feathers into it, which was really fun. And then I also took the baby and used the two like babies that were in it. They were on two different pages, but I put them together and did kind of like a Valentine's Day one and used the rest of my tiny doilies just because I wanted to get rid of them. And then I was actually starting to do something over here, but it messed up and my paint moved on me, which this is acrylic paint, but I don't think I let it dry enough before I put some matte medium over top of it. So that was totally my fault. But hey, lesson learned, not everything can be perfect. So today, what I wanted to work on was something different than these. And I wanted to do some jelly plating because right now I feel like everybody's doing jelly plating and I would like to use mine because I've never done it before. So I have two different jelly plates. I have a big square one and I have a circle one, and they are virgin jellies. They have never had anything on them. I also have my roller, and then I also have some stencils that I haven't tried yet that I wanted to kind of take a look at and see what they were like. So there's especially one stencil that I know for sure that I want to use. So I thought we could look through my stencils real quick and decide what to use, and then get to playing with some jelly plates. So to start this off, I guess we'll look at these smaller ones and see what they are. This was like a mushroom pack that I got. I thought was really cute. It was just really cheap on Amazon. So I'm just gonna, ooh, that's kind of hard to get out of there. Here it is. And what I might do is let me get something dark to set on top under it so that you'll actually be able to see what it is. Like maybe we can use a black canvas underneath it so you can actually see what the colors are. And here I'll open the canvas so it's not shining like that. It's just because it has the plastic on it. So I'll take the plastic out. These canvases are nothing special. They're just from the dollar store. Especially since I feel like I'm practicing mostly right now to kind of make my own technique. So I've been actually going to Family Dollar a lot for canvases lately, just because they have them for $1.25, so they're pretty cheap. So let me take a look here. Here is what we've got. So there's this one. It's like a moon. And then got that one. This one. These are very pretty. I am absolutely in love with mushrooms. So this mushroom pack really spoke to me, so to say. I had no idea it came with so many though. There's so many cute ones in here. This could definitely be adorable. And I absolutely love the ones with the moons and stuff on them. It reminds me of the god and the goddess. So it's really cool, like the triple moon symbol and stuff. Because I am an out and proud Hellenistic pagan. So I absolutely love little motifs like that. I'll see an eye. Oh, that's cute. It's like a little mushroom house. Got a couple more here. This one and that one. That's really cute too. So I just wanted to show you guys some of those, and then I have the bigger ones, which I think are the ones that we're going to use today, because these bigger ones are really cool. Just give me 1 second to put those away, and then I'll get out my big boys. Set those there, and I've got 3 different ones I got from Amazon. They're these bigger ones, and they are gonna have lots of cool textures and stuff to work with, which I thought would be perfect for jelly plating. So I've got this one. So this one, it looks like, is a bunch of flowers and roses. And then we've got this one here, which looks like a bunch of leaves. So that one's pretty. We've got more flowers there. We've got us some kind of like tiger or zebra stripey looking ones. Some more like whimsical looking flowers. Some thicker flowers. This one kind of reminds me of like stained glass windows in a way. And then this is the one that I really want to use today. I love this. This reminds me of those like rounded fossils. This one I'm going to set to the side because I want to use that one today. So there's that pack. And like I said, I just looked up stencils on Amazon and different packs came up, and I looked up bigger stencils. Like I think I put big stencils to be exact. I don't really remember how much I paid for them, but I am an Amazon shopper, so most of the stuff that you'll see is either from an art store or from Amazon. Can guarantee it. Then there's this one. So let me open this pack and see what's in it. And for this pack, we've got these kind of cool stripes, which will make a nice pattern. Then there's these stripes that have circles on them, which are really cool too. Got some more kind of windowy ones, and look, it even like changes textures towards the bottom, which is cool. We've got this one, which is supposed to be like wood. That one's really cool. We might use that one a little bit today too. So definitely like that. Ooh, or spider webs. I love spider webs. We might use that too. I'm loving me some webs. And then I've also got this really cute bee one. And I've got this one, which is really cool looking. So some of those are definitely some cool ideas for today. And then I have one last pack to show you that I got. Oh, here we go. 8-piece stencil craft DIY scrapbook art, new BQ background art. So if you're looking that up, that might help. And all 3 of them were by the same people, so it should give you like 3 different options. And this one has that one, which looks pretty cool. Kind of stringy. Got that one. This kind of reminds me of some seaweed and some bubbles popping up or something. This one's pretty similar to that other one where it's really exciting up here and then it starts melting through. Oh no, I think they gave me 2 of the same stencil types. You know what? Oh my god, they did. Here's the webs and stuff. Rude. Well, that's all right. The more stencils, the merrier. Either way, I really like them. So I just wanted to show you those. I'll have to go back and see which one they didn't give me. All right, so give me just 1 second. I'll put these guys away in my stencil area. And then we can start taking a look at these. So I really like the look of jelly plating. Like when I see other people use them, they look really cool. So I thought that we could have some fun with those today, and I thought we could try some different size canvases. So I want to try one regular white canvas, and then I thought we could have some fun with these little ACT size ones, art card sizes. So these are This one's the traditional, I think, 8 by 10.5 or something. And then this one is 4 by 6 inches. So I thought we could definitely play around with making some backgrounds today. And just kind of see how that goes. And like I said, I got all these little canvases at the dollar store for $1.25. So if it doesn't work out, it's not going to be a big deal for me. Because they're already cheap. So kind of makes it a little bit fun when you're not worried about messing up, right? And I thought this would be a great way to try both sizes too. Because I thought maybe for the small one, we could use the circle one. And then for this big one, we can use our big squares and see what we come up with. So let me go ahead and let's start out with the small ones just because they're small. And just see what we can make here. So let's see how this will work. So I'm going to take it out here, and it just looks like this. So it's like this almost silicone looking thing, and it's called a gel press. And you can use any kinds of paints and inks on it from what I've seen people use. And then people just simply wash them off and reuse them. So we've got this little circle guy, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 of these that we can play with. Now this is going to be a little messy, just because of what medium, what we're using here. So I am going to put a little cookie sheet in my area here. And, oh, this one has another sheet over it. That's weird. Okay. We'll just open that puppy right up. Probably the most dangerous way to use scissors, but that's okay. All right. And let's take a look here. So we've got 3 of these little guys. And what most people do is they pick some colors to put on here first. So maybe we can try using palettes with this. Let me see where my palette book went. I don't see it in my direct vicinity like I normally do. All right, well, we're just gonna go random then and just have fun for real. All right, so let's do kind of a spooky one. Maybe we can use some purples and maybe some purples in the background, some orange. Let's see. What other color might look kind of cool with that orange? Ooh, we could use some of these. That might be cool. So maybe do these 2 purples on it and then put like this really bright orange over the top and see what happens. That would be fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, ew, a booger, a paint booger. Gross. We will pull that booger off and tell it to get lost, booger. All right. So I'm just gonna put a couple of little dots on here like that. And then I'm going to put a couple of the regular purple in there as well. Oh, this one hasn't been opened yet. Fun. So that way we get a nice deep background behind it. And maybe for this small one, I have, once again from Amazon, I have a set of 3 different rollers. So I've got the small one, this medium one, and this big one. So I think I'm gonna use this small one here. And I'm just gonna go roll, 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 and just cover the whole thing. Roll. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a desk journal, like maybe because I don't use this one as often, maybe I'll do this one. So let's find a blank page here, and we can roll off our excess paint. There we go. Get it nice and rolled off. There we go. All right, and then let's do the spider webs. I feel like the spider webs would be really fun with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that spider web and I'll move this up here so it can dry a little bit. And we're gonna stick a spider web right there, just like that. And then I'm going to take this orange and maybe a bit of red too. Some red might be fun. So I've got that, and then let me get some red just to kind of give it some autumn vibes. Like that. That's probably too much paint, but you know what? We've never done this before, so it's just gonna be a learning process. So now I'm gonna just roll it all over. Roll it. And reds and oranges are gonna look really cool with this. Okay. And then we're supposed to be able to remove it. Like that. Oh my god, that's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna roll off some of this paint. There we go. And then what I might do is I might kind of pluck at it a little bit, get some of that off of there, and then I'm going to take the jelly plate and then stamp it. Oh no, I messed it up because I let it move. So that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and cover it all up like that, and then we're gonna try again. Let's put some of that orange on there because I bet the bright orange is really gonna stand out. So let's try again. I'm not gonna let that behoove me any. Alright. We're gonna try to get those webs in there. This time I'm not gonna let it move. I just wasn't expecting it to move. Alright, so let's see. We don't have as much of a contrast as I was hoping for, but let's see what happens. And pick it up. Huh. Not quite what I was going after. So let's try wiping it off a bit. And we'll play some more. And I'm just gonna take a baby wipe and just scoop it off. So what other colors might go good with reds and purples? I guess I could start with that dark purple again. Like the really, really dark purple. And see what that does. I wanna try to get a web on there, so I'm gonna try really hard to do it again. Maybe, ooh, what if I do white as the contrast, or maybe a teal? A teal might be fun. So we're gonna try, and I'm just gonna actually do it with just the teal and see what happens. So like I said, I don't know, because I've never used this before. So we're just gonna try it out and see what happens. And it might work, it might not, but the only way I'm ever gonna know is if I try, right? Whew. Okay. Wow, that's really cool. What if I do that? Yeah. Sort of. Alright, so now I'm going to take it and I'm just gonna drop it and pick it up. It's really gooped on that side. Interesting. And just gooping it around to finish off the thing. All right, and let's see, maybe it's just this one that's not the best. So what we'll do is we can try a different one on here that maybe will have a little bit more going on. So we'll just leave some of that color there. And I'm just gonna set this to the side. I don't really care if the paint dries on it or not. I'm not super picky. I'm gonna try this dark purple again because I really don't want to lose the colors that I'm trying to use in here. So I'm gonna do the dark purple, but with this. Let's see what happens here. And it could be, maybe I'm just using too much paint at first. Okay, so I've got that one in there. Okay, pretty good. And I'm gonna pick it up gently. Oh, that looks cool. Okay. Ooh, look at what it did to our stencil. It's pretty cool too. Okay. And then I'm just gonna take it. Got it like that. And pick it up. And smoosh. Pick it up. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty cool. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slurp the rest of this on here. Slurp. Yeah. Just have a bit of fun with it and just wipe it off. Okay, so I think that first one looks pretty good. So we tried to do some webs on it and we tried to do some circular stuff. So it looks really cool. Hold it up so you can see it a little bit better. So that could be a really cool background to something. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this behind me to dry. So just 1 second while I set it down. Whop. All right. And then I've already used these two. So let's try practicing some more with these two. Let's combine them some. That could be fun. Like maybe do that top one, or the one that we just did, and then do the webs on top. That might work. And I'm just going to use the same colors because I'm just practicing with this. So I just want to see. This time I'm going to put the bright orange on the bottom. And see what happens. So I'm going to do that there. Roll this off a bit. Very purpley. All right. There we go. I'm just going to get that all over. So I'd really like that strong orange to stand out, and we really didn't get that with that last one, did we? Okay, so now it is fully covered and saturated, so I'm just gonna wipe that off a bit. Cool. And then I'm gonna do this one again. And this time I'm gonna try that dark purple over it again just to see what happens. And I'm only gonna put a little bit on it this time. So I'm just gonna do 2 dots and see what happens. So I think what I'm doing is I put too much paint on it the first time. So I think I was treating it as if it was gonna be the only one on there. So I'm just gonna roll it back and forth. My little roller. Like that. And then I'm going to put the web back on top of it, like that maybe, and then I'm gonna try the blue. Oops. I stamped my bottle on accident. Oops. And then let's wipe off some of this purple again. There we go. Roll her out. I think I need some more blue. Oh shit, that's way too much. Excuse my French. Okay. Don't know how this is gonna work out, but we're gonna try our best. So, we've got that, and I'm gonna wipe that off. And I'm gonna carefully peel up this one. Then I'm gonna peel up this one. Oh. Well, that could be cool. I'm gonna carefully set these two to the side. I might want a paper towel or something. Let's see. There we go. And then look at that. If that turns out, that's gonna be cool. Oh, we didn't get the orange in there though. So it seems like there's a bit of a timing to this as well, because I didn't get the orange in there like I was kind of hoping for. It does look cool though. So let's do just the orange this time and see what we can get. Let's do that. And then where did I set that orange? I think it's probably under here, yeah. So I'd really still like to see a strong orange in here, which I haven't quite gotten yet. Here we go. Okay, so now we've got kind of a choppy color going on, so we really need something that's going to stand out, I think. So let's do, maybe this is where we introduce our purple. And let's see, we've already done the kind of circular ones. Let's do the web one more time and see what we can do. I want it to work. This is very messy. Okay. Put that purple there. I'm trying. This time I put a thinner layer on so we can see what it'll do. Take it off. That's what our jelly plate looks like. Didn't do anything really. Just made it more purpley. Okay. Maybe we needed a different, well, I kind of want to stick to the ones I've got out for this little thing. Let's try some of these circles. Maybe we can try a different color. See what we can do. Let's do something vulgar and do a green. Just for fun. Just get something different in there, because maybe what's happening is maybe those colors are getting too similar now. So let's try this and see what happens. Give us a vulgar green. Okay, so we got some dots, and this is a different part of it. Ooh, that kind of gave us some fun color. And this is what we got here. So let's see what happens, like, since this is still pretty fresh, let's see what happens if we just jank that down on this one. So that kind of gives us a bit of a green vibe, a green moment with those polka dots. Let's do a different corner of the web. Maybe we can get some different patterns in here if we do something like that. I'm gonna try the orange again. I'm still convinced I want that orange. Okay, so I'm gonna lift that up, and we've got some stripy stripes now. I'm gonna drop that down at the bottom this time. Ooh, that did some cool stuff. There's some of that color play I wanted. So now we've got some bright colors in there. Okay. So that did give us some stripes and stuff. Not sure that I would consider it webby, but it's definitely pretty cool looking. So I'm gonna set these guys there. And what I might do is I'll set out a piece of paper so that can dry. Because I don't really need paper everywhere. Here we go. And then I would like one more layer on there, I think. Just so that we can say that we tried our best with these little ones. So, got that really cool orange there. I'm gonna try the green again. And I'm gonna do the corner this time. Different pattern. I did pretty well goop that one last time, so maybe the goop is okay. As long as we're pushing on it the right way. Okay. Ooh, that's cool. And then I'm gonna... trying to also experiment with how hard I press on it, because it seems like it just kind of depends on what it wants to do. There we go. So this one is now kind of a murky orange color. All right, so that's a small jelly plate, so I'll definitely be practicing more with that, because that'll be really fun. And then I'm gonna set those over to dry. And I will also set this over to dry as well. Oops, excuse me. Okay. So let me go ahead and get a baby wipe and wipe off that. And I'm not going to be too judgmental in wiping these off, because as long as it stays a jelly plate, I don't really care about the rest of the colors on it. This stuff's on the back, so I can just try to, whatever. All right, so I'm going to put this one back in the container, and then I'm going to do the bigger ones. And with the big ones, we're going to check on those small ones to see how dry they are, and then maybe make something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and toss that out, and then we'll get a new one. And all I'm using are just parchment papers. Really quick and easy thing to do. There we go. So I've got that there. And then with this big one, let's get that out of the container. Here's the big one. And let's do this one on the bottom this time. And let's pick out some new colors. So for this, I would like to do maybe some ochre and maybe some ochre and some reds would be fun. Like I've got this metallic-y copper that might look cool with that, and then maybe we could do like this crimson. That could be fun. And we'll do a different blue with it, maybe a sky blue. That could be fun. So I think what I'm gonna do is let's do the red and this like kind of kind of like a chromey color on the bottom. Okay. Do the red here, like that. I'm gonna roll it and try to get it good and saturate. Oh no, you know what I did? Oh no. Maybe we can do this and save some of the paint. Not bad. Whoops. I'm sure I'm not the first person who's ever done that before, right? All right. Get some of that in there, like that. Guess I'll be throwing that half out. All right. And then let's go ahead and just lay this down at random. This is not quite dry, so I'm gonna set this to the side and get my other journal out. That came unglued, okay. So let me get my other out. Use this one. Here. Uh-oh, some of my pages are sticking together. All right. Let's find a page that's like mostly writing or something to get rid of here. Let's do... Ooh, hey, this has a lot of reds and yellows in it. That might be okay. Get my blues here. There we go. I'm just gonna roll off that. There we go. All right. I hope I haven't waited too long to make that not stick anymore. Oh, oh no, my book is trying to close. I don't want it to close. Stop it. Here we go. All right, so let's do some of this blue. Do some generous squirts there. I'm gonna go a little fast because I'm worried that that red and chrome are gonna dry. Okay. Okay. And then here's the ones I'm really excited for. So I'm gonna put that over it. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of this, like that. A little bit more. Here and here. Okay. And then we're just gonna, oh my God, look at how beautiful that is. Wow. If only I could use that. My goodness, look at how gorgeous that is. I might have to redo that on some paper with those. All right. Well, let's see what happens. I don't think it's gonna look quite like that, but if it did, my goodness. Wow. That's really pretty. Just kind of pressing, and it's giving away some of that red too, which is cool. Try to get as much of it off as we can. That is really pretty. That's cool. Now I think what we should do is we should do it again. And this time just with these, like that. And I'm just gonna put down some of this red. Do some of that. And some of this crimson. Yeah, boy. this is gonna be for ya. Alright. See what we get. Okay. That looks so cool. Alright. I'm just gonna scrape some of this paint off. Now, let's just put it in the middle. Let's see what happens. Pushed it down a bit. Whoa. Yes. Yeah, mommy. Oh. Yeah, we're getting that red in there. I'm just gonna press it around everywhere. Try to get some of these extra colors off. And also so that it's not so bare in some places. Yeah, look at how beautiful that is. It's like a stained glass look. I like that a lot. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. So I'm just gonna wipe it off a bit. And then because of what it's made out of, it just wipes right off. Pretty awesome. Wow. I am stoked by those colors. That's beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. Look at this. That's gorgeous. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my jelly plate away. And I got both of these jelly plates on Amazon. So once again, easy places to shop. Amazon. All right. So give me just one moment and I will drag out our other three that we had over there. All right, so I'm back now and these are dry, which is great. So up close, this is kind of what it looks like. It's got this, it's really hard to see, but it's got like kind of the circular design in it. This one's definitely my favorite one. So this is the one that I want to work with first. And I was thinking we could have this cool, like, I love windows. So I was thinking a cool woman, like looking through a window, and then maybe the bird cage up top, and then some word fetty, because I've got some Tim Holtz word fetty, and maybe we can make a story out of it. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut out this lady, and I'd like part of her eye to be seen. That way we could see the lady, and I like the red of the roses because of the red that's in here. So I think we're going to do something like that. And then I'm going to take a pencil and just mark the outline of this window so that I'll be able to tell where to cut. So I'm just going to go along the outline of our window here. Just so I can kind of tell. Where to cut. Okay. So I think I got that pretty good. So now I'm going to cut her out. Kind of the nice thing about pencil is you can see it pretty well on it, just about anything, because it has that kind of glow to it. Okay, so I think we've got her, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this with the window over it. Yeah, I think we got that pretty good. I think that looks just about right. So now I got to decide if I want to glue the window on her first, or if I want to go go in layers. I think I might glue the window on her first just so that this becomes one piece. So I'm gonna do, oh, there's a little piece that still needs to come off of that. Okay, so I got this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna gently go around here. It looks like there's a couple of little pieces on this that just need to be popped off. There we go. Very delicate. All right. And then I'm just going to go along here, and I've glued these down before. They're kind of difficult just because they're so thin. So I just try to put a lot of glue on it and just kind of go around randomly, and then I work it in with my fingers. And it is just Elmer's glue, so it is going to dry clear as long as you don't have a big goop somewhere. And if you do have a big goop, then it's just gonna have like a little bit of white to it, but I don't think we're gonna have that much trouble with this. So I'm just gonna kind of use my fingers and tap it in like that, and then I'm gonna set for the girl. Uh-oh, got a little tall. Try again. It happens sometimes. This is the worst part for me. I'm really bad about lining these things up like this. It's something I need to work on because I almost never get them lined up right. There we go. I'm just gonna smooth it over. Something like that. Smooth it down. And I still got a little bit of the edge up there, which is fine. I'm just gonna wipe away the excess glue with my fingers. And if it's there, it's fine. It's not gonna bother anything. All right, I'm gonna straighten up this window a little bit down here so it's not so wavy looking. So we want it to be more like a real window. There we go. Something like that. And I have a little bit of the edge popped up there. So all I'm gonna do is just snip that away a little bit. Like that. And this is how my window looks. Pretty cute. And you can see her little eye. And I'd like to probably put this in the corner. Probably this corner over here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over. Like this. And then what I do is I just work it in circles. Like this. And then I rub the excess more towards the middle. There we go. And what I like about this is we can see this like rounded area here. It kind of reminded me of the windows to the store. So I think it should look pretty nice together. Something like that. Rip off the paper towel from my thumb here. And the idea is we want to tell a story with her. So with her, she's kind of like she's in a bird cage. So I found this. And I thought this would look cool up here somehow, where the blue is. Now with stickers, I've gotten to where I don't trust them very much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put glue on the back of the sticker too. Because stickers are the bane of my existence and they curl. And I don't want it to curl. Oh no, it's taking away the glue from my fingers. Stop it. There we go. So I've got some extra glue on there. And maybe I'll tilt that a little bit so it's not so perfect looking. Sometimes I cut away the edges of stickers, sometimes I don't. This time I'm not going to because this is already highlighted in white, so I don't think it matters much. So there we go. Got that on there pretty good, like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for a story for this girl. So let's see here if we have any words that are gonna work for us. Let's see. mysterious. Let go with the heart. There's the light. Flowers appear on the earth. It was an artist's life I wanted. Don't we all want an artist's life? I like that one. Let's see. But I'd like something maybe that says something about being caged. Let's see here. My lonely heart. That could be something. So maybe what I'll do is, so we don't lose that, is I'm just gonna stick it here on this paper because that's not gonna stick. My lonely heart. Let's see. Let's see. My lonely heart, maybe make me a promise. That could be one. Familiar. In an unfamiliar silent place. Ooh, in an unfamiliar silent place, my lonely heart. That could go together. My lonely heart in an unfamiliar silent place far from home. That could be good. Oops. I like to try to kind of make poetry with these, even if it just makes sense to me. So my lonely heart in an unfamiliar place far from home. Maybe one more. Ooh, all that I know. So maybe she's looking for love. That could be fun. All that I know, my lonely heart in an unfamiliar silent place far from home. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna use the glue again. Because remember, I don't trust stickers. You shouldn't either. Okay, and I'm just gonna rub that in. All that I know. My lonely heart. Maybe do this one sideways like this, in an unfamiliar silent place. Whoops. In an unfamiliar silent place. And then lastly, we're gonna do far from home down here. I like doing word Betty stuff like this. I don't know why. It's just fun. So it's like she's looking for her love and she feels caged. Like I feel like this tells a story, you know? Yeah. All that I know, my lonely heart in an unfamiliar place far from home. And then we need a pen to sign it. Let's sign this one in blue. Except we can't really see that one, so I'm just gonna rub it away. We need a darker color, or a color that's more, maybe pink. I like signing in the pink. Oh, hold on here. We got a corner popping up. Don't want that. Excuse you, ma'am. Get your bum back where it goes. There we go, like that. There we go. I just got my little signature down there. Yeah, so now it tells a story. All that I know, my lonely heart in an unfamiliar silent place far from home. So I like that. And then I'm gonna let it dry, and later on I'll probably put a finishing coat on it. So that's this one. Give me a second and I'll prepare for our next one. Okay, so next I got out this one, which has this kind of like circular pattern on it. I really kind of liked how this window kept that circular theme. I thought maybe that would look good in the middle here. And I found these ladies I kind of like. So I was thinking maybe it looks like they're on like a night on a town or something. So I'm gonna just take my pencil and just kind of mark where to trim. So that way. There we go. So now I kind of see where to trim at. That's what I'm gonna do. This is just just a regular ephemera. This isn't actually from anything, at least nothing that I know of. And what I'm probably gonna do is just cut simple shapes, because I don't need to actually cut out a perfect outline for this. As long as we get our picture in the window, we're okay. And then we can kind of goop around and see if there's anything that we can look at here, because I think it would be fun to have something about friends on this one. Just because it looks like it's a bunch of ladies going out together. So maybe this would be a cute like girls' night kind of thing. Let's see how we did here. And I'm just gonna throw away these extra papers because I don't really want them. See what this looks like here. If we put it on top like that. Like that. Okay. So I think this is gonna look good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the glue on the window. It's a little bit easier to do it that way. And once again, I'm just gonna smudge it down with my fingers. So I've got it in there, and then I'm just gonna take my thumbs and just kind of work it in there. So that way we're not having a bunch of like goop or anything on it. There we go. And then I can just take a paper towel, and if there's excess, and wipe it off. Okay, and then I'm gonna try and fit it to where most of their faces are in the picture. So I really like that one lady just kind of coming out the corner. Something like that. I'm just gonna push it down really good. Like that. Looks like I got most of it, but there are some pieces where it didn't quite line up right, so I can just trim those little bits off. And if it's not gonna bother anything, then I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh. Oops, there's a little bit of glue seeping. It happens sometimes. Something like that. And I do kind of want this one in the middle. just because I think the middle is going to be the vibe of this one, because it really is round and I want to keep the roundness of it. So I'm going to, oops, there's a little bit of paint that was, it was dry, it was just sticking up. Right, so I think what I'm going to do is going to kind of put that in the middle there so it can have its moment. I'm just going to, once again, lather it in pretty good with my fingers. Something like that. And then just kind of rub it everywhere. Get it all nice and gooey. And with this one, it should line up pretty good. Like this. I need to go down just a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now I'm gonna push it in real good. Like that. And then I was gonna see if maybe we had something about friendship in here, because to me, this is very friendshipy looking. So, their fondness for each other. Here's one that says friendship. So that could be a good one. Let's see. Maybe friendship. Their fondness for each other. Let's see. Trying to look. Friendship in our hearts. So that could be cute. Oh. So friendship in our hearts. Their fondness for each other, though. I don't know about that one. Friendship in our hearts. Trying to think. Seeing if there's anything else that's kind of friendshipy. Together we sit and rest. No, that's a little too dark, I think. Because this one has togetherness in it. Together we will sit and rest, but I don't think that sounds very nice. I don't know. That's more something sad happened in that. We want happy. So I like friendship in our hearts. Reflections of each other, that could be it. That could be good. Friendship in our heart, reflections of each other. Could be cute. Maybe we can put friendship on top of the window. So that says friendship and then in our hearts, and then we'll look for some little stickers to go on top to make it look a little bit better. So I'm gonna put the friendship at the top of the window, because this could be a nice gift for somebody. So friendship. Like that. friendship. And then maybe we can do in our hearts reflections of each other on each side. And then maybe some pictures up top or something, like a sticker or something. Just to kind of tie it together. So in our hearts, reflections of each other. Because friends do everything together, right? So that's a reflection of each other. Uh-oh, that one's doing that stick-up thing again that I don't like. Just try to rub some more glue on it. The problem is I got glue all over my fingers. So it's not quite going where I think it should go. There we go. Friendship in our heart, reflections of each other. Now, this gives us a bit of a unique vibe because now whatever stickers I decide to embellish it with, I can use black and white on this one because we've got, these girls are black and white. So I do have this sticker book that might be okay for that. Let's see if we have anything that's friendshipy in here. Now these are a bit shiny, so I want to keep that in mind too. Let's see. That butterfly is pretty. That could be nice. Let's cut out that butterfly real quick. So I don't know, there's never anything wrong with a good butterfly. Okay, so we've got a butterfly. Maybe that butterfly can go like right there or something like that. And then what else do we got? No. Inevitable, the owl. More butterflies, but we've already got a butterfly, so we don't need another one. Those are pretty butterflies, but I like the one that we've got. Freedom, smile. I'll try anything once, it says. Here's a feather. Could be fun, but no. Huh. This could be pretty. This lady in the middle. Because she looks like she's singing or something, or being a performance. Maybe she's singing her heart out. That would be pretty. We could do something like that, I think. There we go. And then once again, I'm just gonna put some glue on there. And I think I'm gonna have that on that side and the butterfly on this side. So let's go ahead and give her some glue. Pretty sticky. Okay. I kind of wanted her up a little bit more than that. Ooh, that is not sticking. Hold on here. Not quite going where I want it to go anyway. Try to get some of that glue off of her dress that I accidentally got on there. There we go. That way my beautiful glue fingers aren't part of it. Okay, and then I like this butterfly right here like that. I think that'll be really pretty. I have to wash my hands before I start the next one. So I've just got glue all over me, which is fine, but you know. Pay Yeah, so this is kind of like a girls' night on the town to me. At least that's the vibes I'm getting from it. And no worries, this is just Elmer's glue. It's gonna dry clear even though it's white. It'll be fine. And even if it doesn't, maybe that'll embellish it a bit. Shouldn't be afraid to try. There we go. Gonna get it like that. And I do have a little bit of wings coming off the edges here, so I'm just gonna cut the very edge of the sticker. That way it doesn't come off. Something like that. There we go. That one doesn't want to stay. There we go. So this one, friendship, reflection in our hearts. Or friendship in our hearts, reflections of each other. So I think that one's pretty cute. All right, give me one moment and I'll prepare for that last one. So I think on this last one, I'm just gonna go real random with it. I actually really like this look right here. So what I might do is actually cut this down to where it kind of sticks out. So I'm gonna just draw a little line here with pencil here. And I'm gonna draw another one right here to kind of cut those off because I kind of like that at an angle there. It's got a little bit of hello there. I don't know, there's just something interesting about that. So I kind of like how that looks like that. And then let's see if I can find something to kind of put in between there. So I don't really want a window on this one. I'm bored with windows now. So we're gonna try something else. Maybe we could, maybe we can use an old art card or a really old thing. Maybe we could put this lady on there. I don't know. Let me see, would that look okay there, like that? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this lady out. So this is actually from that old 1910s book that I deconstructed, that junk journal. This was originally part of a Standard Sewing Machine ad. So I'm just gonna cut it out and see what happens here. Should never be afraid to try to cut things out and see if it works. If it doesn't work, well, it didn't work, and you'll find something else. It'll be okay. So I'm just gonna cut this out to the best of my ability. This is thicker paper, quite thick actually. It's more kind of like a cardboard in a way. So I'm just gonna do my best to try to cut it out as well as I can. And I'm also probably gonna see if any of the backing is gonna wanna come off some more because it does still have extra layers of paper under it. So we'll see if any of that wants to come off for us to be nice. It may or it may not. I might round out this corner here. I'm not a big sharp corner person. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks softer. So I didn't want her to be super sharp or anything like that. And like I said, this could completely run this card and go awry, but I'm gonna try it and see what happens here. So I don't think that ruins that too much. So I'm just gonna throw away the pieces of this old part here. I'm gonna see what it would look like if we put her behind it a little bit like this. That's pretty cute. So maybe something like that. And then do we want some words up here? Maybe, of course it does say hello there here, so we might not need the words that we've been using. What about, so she's kind of a homemaker kind of lady. Let me see if I have any cards or anything that kind of go with that theme. Let's see. I'm just kind of quickly looking through seeing what I got. Oh, a flower up top might be nice because that kind of has that light element to it. So let's cut out that little flower real quick. And this is also kind of thick paper here. So I'm just going to be kind of careful as I'm doing it. Because sometimes with that thick paper, it doesn't want to do what you think it's going to do. So maybe something like that. Okay. Maybe we could do some, like, at least an ephemera word here. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Bidding farewell to a warm, merry day. No. Because that says hello there. You can't say goodbye and hello. That would be silly. The flowers that appear on the earth. That's too serious. Reserved popularity contest, but like the moon, the summer shines, bamboozled. No. To be cheerful and optimistic. That could be okay. I kind of like the to be cheerful and optimistic, so I'm going to take that off for a second. And see if we can find a first half to that sentence. So we've got to be cheerful and optimistic. Let's see. The color of the sea from the past with all my heart. She merely went on with her life. No, that's very dramatic. Let's see. She tried to remember to be cheerful and optimistic. It's probably okay. I would rather it say she remembered though, so I'm gonna set this here, but maybe. I don't know about that. Good fortune to be cheerful and optimistic. I actually like that much better because I feel like this is a very optimistic art card. So that's what we're going with. We're gonna be cheerful and optimistic. All right. So let's go ahead and get gluing, eh? Sir, let's see here. This is very specific looking. So we want her to be right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a hard line here so that I can tell that that's where it's meant to be, because this will be underneath the hello there, so nobody's gonna see that hard line. Only we can. That's what I'm gonna do. Just like that. Okay, there's my hard line right there. So I'm just gonna tack her down, and I'm gonna hold her down on her corners and stuff to make sure that that gets in there pretty good. Okay, just like that. All right, and then we could probably go ahead and glue down this corner too, because we already know where that's going. Down right there. hold her down a little bit since she's got that cardboard here. That cardboard's wanting to stick up a little bit. So I'm just gonna hold it there with my fingers. All right, that should be okay. And then we're gonna slather some on this hello there. I really like this one, so I'm glad I got to use it. It was just cute. Okay, do my circles. Just like that. And then we want to stick that right in the corner here. And I want to make sure I go down far enough. Oops, we're not quite down far enough. There we go. Font spotter. And then I'm just gonna hold it down, because it's not only having to glue to the little thing here, but it's also having to glue to this lady. So gotta be kind of careful to make sure that it goes down all the way. There we go. So we've got hello there. And now we're gonna say good fortune, to be cheerful and optimistic. Get our British voices on. No offense to anybody British who's watching, of course. Good fortune. Want that pretty diagonaled, because I'm going to put this one also diagonal like this. Maybe it would be better if it was down here a little bit more. Might do that. Because I think it might actually look better like this. Yeah, that does look better. Good fortune, to be cheerful and optimistic. I like it. Okay. So with that, we have made 3 really cool cards so far, and I'm just gonna pull up the other 2 small ones real quick, just to re-show them to you. They've been drying a bit, so we can kind of see what they ended up like. And I think all 3 of them look just different enough that I like it. So we've got this first one that we did. All that I know, my lonely heart in an unfamiliar place far from home. So we've got that. And then we've got this one, which says friendship in our hearts, reflection of each other. And then we've got this one, good fortune, to be cheerful and optimistic. I like it. So those are going to be pretty good. And then I will probably wait until next time. And next time what we'll do is we'll play with this big boy and see what we're going to make with it. Because I think this one will look pretty cool too. But for right now, I think we've got what we've got. So thank you for watching, and I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time.